Hello crafty friends, thanks for stopping back by. Today I have another card to share and we're going to be using the new Whodunnit stamp set from Missing Stamps as well as the Eieio frame die. And I'm going to be using a couple of these frames. I love these sets because they have so many stacking frames you could use. For this one I'm going to use the two smallest frames in this die set, and I'm going to cut out a gray piece of cardstock and then a white one to go on top. And then that black one in the back is the size of an A2 sized card. Now here I have the footprints stencil, and I've already colored up one of these images of these mystery detectives, and I'm going to use the footprint stencil for the background. To do this, I'm going to tape off that side because I don't want to get any ink on the edge of this. But I'm going to ink up 3 of the 4 footprints, just the little lines of footprints. And I'm using black ink to do this. This is black soot. I'm just going to ink those on, and I put my magnet right there where I put it so that I wouldn't accidentally ink over the other little set of footprints there. So there we go. There's our background, and I love that footprints stencil. Now I'm going to color up the glasses that are in this Whodunnit stamp set. I'm going to color them to be sunglasses, and I think they could go on top of this little image here to make him look more like a serious investigator. So there they are, and I just fussy cut those out. I'm going to just smooth out those edges with a little bit of a sanding block. This is for fingernails, but I use it in my craft room. And there you go. There he is with his sunglasses. I think he looks pretty cool. So I'm choosing a sentiment from the Whodunnit stamp set, and this one says, "It's a gift and a curse." And I'm going to stamp that out in black and cut that out. And then I'm going to cut a frame to go around it to make it a little more substantial. And to do that, I will take my background, which is the black, and I'm going to cut a little bit of just a larger rectangle to go behind it. But I'm not going to cut out the whole thing, just the middle section. And that way, when we layer up, nobody's going to see that I cut out a little piece of matte there for our sentiment, but it's doing double duty for me here. I like to get the most out of my cardstock. Do you do this also? It's a nice little trick. So now I'll go ahead and trim that down. So we've got that. And I'm going to pick one more image from the stamp set, and it's the baby wipes there. This detective likes to keep his hands clean. So I'm going to color that up in shades of blue and then just fussy cut that out for our little scene here. He always carries these around wherever he goes. Sanitize things, sanitize his hands. So I'm going to put that right there down by his feet. And now you're going to see as I layer this up that it needs a little something more. You could leave it just like that. This nice, clean, and simple card. Perfect for, like my husband would love this. In fact, he did love this, but then I thought, it needs something more. So I'm going to bring out a couple of stamp sets that probably are going to be perfect for this. First, I'm going to go ahead and glue down the sentiment and this image, and I'm going to pop up our main character with some foam adhesive to give him a little dimension and make him the star of this show. Little does he know that pretty soon he's going to be upstaged. He is. So let me just put a little more foam tape and I'll show you what I mean by that. And we're going to add him down right here to the left side of this panel. Just like this. There we go. Now we could bring in the crime scene or true crime stamp set. Now this one sold out right away. So it may or may not be back in stock yet. So I decided to use a different stamp set that I haven't used in a while, and that's this one that's Hello from Mars. And these little aliens would be super cute, kind of peeking out from behind this panel as if he ran across something unusual on this particular case investigation. So I'm just going to glue this down to the gray panel here, and then I'm going to stamp out a couple of these aliens, and I'll color them up in a couple of different shades of greens and corals. Now I chose my two very favorite little guys here, and I do have the coordinating dies for these, so that comes in really handy when you want to just add a little something to your card. So I'm going to stamp these down with some Copic friendly ink. This is the Memento ink that I like to use right now. And then I'll take those coordinating dies, tape them to these characters, and run it through my die cut machine. So I'll show you the little guys that we get here. And this is my idea, to kind of have them peek out the edges, but kind of, still you can see a good portion of them. I love it, but it is going to make it so this card will not fit in an A2 sized envelope. You're going to have to use a larger envelope to mail this one, or you could hand deliver it. But I just thought these were too cute not to include. Now, a lot of designers might say, don't allow things to go off the edge of your card, but I think it's appropriate for these little aliens. Now, I just colored them off a little bit off screen there, and here I think they look really fun. So we're going to add those to the back of our card, and you can see their little antenna kind of go over our front panel. So when I glue this together, I'm going to be really careful. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and then I'm going to slide in our main panel, our focal panel here, but I'm going to be very careful so that the antenna come to the front. So see, I'm just going to kind of slide that underneath there, and then glue it down just like that. Yes, it is a gift and a curse, and you will need some sanitizing wipes for this investigation. So I'm going to glue the whole thing onto our card base, and it's going to be a top folding card base, and there's our card for today. I think it's kind of a fun one, a little surprising, as in you wouldn't expect that to happen. You wouldn't expect to run into aliens. Well, I hope you enjoyed this card as much as I did. And by the way, my husband approved after I showed him the end result. So I hope you enjoy it as well. Give this video a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with more cards, more inspiration, and more fun. Until then, happy crafting. Bye-bye.